Hey everybody, Chris McMillon here, and this is an interview with Autonomy for the Autonomy Season 1 and 2 class going on, and for the Autonomy channel, Richard Grove's Tragedy and Hope. I'm here with Robert Scott Bell, the Robert Scott Bell Show. Robert, you were the MC here at the RedPill Expo in Mesquite, Nevada.
Yeah.
I think you did a fantastic job, and I commend you as well. There was a speaker who missed their plane.
Yes.
You stepped in and gave a fantastic presentation in their place. I think you did a great job.
Well, thanks.
What are your thoughts on how the RedPill Expo went this time round?
Well, other than me not knowing I was going to lecture and lecturing, which actually turned out great. I wonderful opportunity that Ed provides. This is the first RedPill Expo I'd been to, knew about it, of course, and been trying to get to it, Ed and I, and it's always timing. And to experience the diversity of presentations and the depth of them.
Yeah.
And I commented this many times as MC. I said, you know, what I'm so impressed with is not just people screaming out in the dark and angry, right? It's about also providing pathways to solve the problems, to make it better, right? To transform people's lives for the better and empower them once again. And so that doesn't always happen in places. A lot of times you'll get together and scream and yell and feel like, oh, that was awesome. Well, to me, that's not awesome. That just leaves you in the lurch and makes you more angst-filled, fear-filled. And I think with the group here, everybody came in and said, you know, here's a pathway out of this mess. And I think we can't overstate the importance of when you're presenting new information that can be shocking and scary, that you also provide pathways out of the mess. And that's what happened here at the RedPill Expo, and I think the RedPill University is doing the same. You
definitely provided some pathways and solutions in your presentation. A lot of health solutions. You had your own problems. You were very open about it. You solved those problems, and now you're just trying to share the word, spread the word. And also there's a lot of other topics that tied in. Alternative currencies, for example. I was impressed how you've got the gold backs. Yeah, the gold backs. I bought a few for my kids.
Yes, that's nice.
What is the Robert Scott Bell, for anyone who may not know, what's the Robert Scott Bell Show about? What you want to plug yourself in?
Sure. Well, that's the living manifestation of like you said, I just share stuff.
Yeah.
What have I been through? What have I learned? What am I experienced? And then what have others learned that I can bring forward through that show? I've been doing it since 1999 in broadcast media and radio, syndicated radio. So it's been a long time. 2 decades is kind of hard to imagine, but we're still here. And the folks that I bring on, including other RedPill speakers, of course Ed Griffin and Michael Badnarik, my good friend. Yeah. And so we cover issues. When I talk about health, freedom, and healing liberty, I recognize that liberty is the unhyphenated version for healing liberty. And I'm concerned, of course, about those who love liberty that don't know how to care for their bodies, because I didn't.
Yeah.
None of us were really given the manual, and we've lost tribal knowledge. Our ancestors are not talking to us anymore about that, and we've turned our bodies over to a government, medical, military complex that conquers our bodies from the day we're born through injections. And so I'm just imploring folks to take stock of what they know and then begin to apply it inwardly as well, not just to this outer world when we talk about the big environment, government or otherwise, but our own bodily environment. And I talk about it in terms of the Constitution, right? We talk a lot about that at RedPill, and we ignore the Constitution at our own peril as a nation. We ignore our body's Constitution at our own peril as an individual. Yeah. And so if we violate our body's Constitution by poisoning it inadvertently, I'm not even talking overtly like vaccines and drugs, which people are now getting onto hey, that's pretty bad stuff.
Yeah.
But what about the food? If it's genetically engineered, if it's loaded with pesticides and herbicides and fungicides and glyphosate.
And high fructose corn syrup.
All of that stuff.
Yeah.
And how many people unconsciously, because it's just a habit at this point, you don't think about it. It's like, well, I'm out at an event, I'm just going to eat. And I'm like, no, bring your own food until you can find food that is going to bless your body and build it up rather than denigrate or desecrate it. So it's an uncomfortable topic among many topics that people say, that's uncomfortable, I can handle that. Yeah. But don't tell me I can't eat just whatever I want. So that's another part of the message that for those that love liberty and are here for that good fight and for themselves and their kids and their grandkids and on, if you become dependent upon the pharmaceutical industrial state, how can you help others, to see liberty, to seek it, because you have become enslaved chemically?
Yeah.
And so that's another area of the message that I don't think is getting out. It's getting out a little, but I have to live this way for my own sake, because I shared in my talk briefly of all the ailments and illnesses I had since I was born,
Yeah.
and had to overcome so much. And there was a reason and purpose for it, even though I didn't understand it at the time. You know, as you go, why me, oh Lord?
Yeah.
And then find out years later, oh, that made perfect sense. I had to learn this indelibly by suffering through these things and overcoming them, so I could teach others to do the same or better. So I want that for our community, those that have been red-pilled,
Yeah.
that it's not just about external environment, governmental issues, but it's also about this gift of life itself, the body that we inhabit while we're here.
Exactly. It all starts with the self. Do you own your own body? A lot of people don't realize that, yes, we do own our own body, but we are indoctrinated to think otherwise. It's well said. What's happening now with you? What's the present and the future? What do you got going on? What's coming up?
Well, I continue to broadcast 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. We're out on multiple platforms, of course, because there's a lot of censorship on the issues of health, particularly when it comes to vaccines. But if folks can go to robertscottbell.com, you can sign up for email alerts, and the diversity of outlets. Right now, I mean, we go out through Natural News Radio. My friend Mike Adams, the health ranger, has set that up for us as well. Syndicated on GCN as well. The alternative options, while we still have them, it's still simulcast on YouTube and Facebook Live and Twitter's Periscope.
Yeah.
But DLive, Twitch, digital platforms, UK Health Radio, eventually all the podcast sites, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, you know, all of that. So we figure that the more outlets, the better. I don't even know who listens anymore. We've lost control. But for me, I'm invested in it landing where it needs to land, so I don't have control over that, and that's fine. But I would encourage folks to engage at any point, a little bit, a lot, but save and share what we're doing, because it is an empowering message that is complementary to all these other empowering messages, but very specific to how you can care for your body and your kids, so that you don't rely on so-called experts that, even if they mean well, their entire realm of helping you is poisoning you.
That's a good point, even if they mean well, because they don't all, that, you know, that's just the way they are programmed, and the way they are literally programmed. And I like what you said, while we still can, and that's the theme of the RedPill Expo, the t-shirts, think while it's still legal.
Yes, yes.
Well, Robert Scott Bell, thank you very much. I appreciate your time today.
I'm honored to be here.
I look forward to following you in the future.
Thank you, and anything I can do to get the word out, I'm here for you. Anywhere you go, just let me know.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right.